The sun bled gold across a violent sea. Caelan Dernhart gripped the helm of the Windshear, his knuckles white. The sloop bucked hard against monstrous swells. Ahead the sky churned, a bruised purple mass of an impending storm. This was it, the edge of the known world, the gateway to Narutel. Every instinct screamed danger, but his jaw was set. He was a man on a mission, a dangerous one. The air was thick with salt and an unspoken threat, the kind that settles deep in your bones. He had to keep pushing forward, no matter the cost. His father's legacy was a heavy cloak upon his shoulders, an unfinished quest, a map whispering of untold wonders and terrible curses. The compass in his pocket, a strange, intricate device, pulsed with a faint warmth, tugging him onward. It wasn't just about riches or glory. This was about answers, about proving himself against the raw, untamed forces of nature and myth. Adventure called, yes, but it was the pull of the unknown, the deep, ancestral yearning for discovery that truly fueled his heart. He had to know what lay beyond. Out here the sea held more than just storms. One moonless night, a phantom galleon, draped in spectral green fire, had glided silently past their bow. Its ghostly crew stared with hollow eyes. No sound, just an icy chill that clung for hours. He felt the fear, a cold knot in his stomach, but held his course. These waters were testing him, trying to break his spirit. He wouldn't let them. He'd faced down death before. This was just another challenge, another story to tell if he made it back. Then came the true giants of the deep. A colossal shadow, larger than the Windshear itself, had moved beneath them. A massive, kraken-like tentacle, thick as an ancient oak, had breached the surface, missing their stern by mere feet. The stench of brine and something ancient, something terrible, filled the air. After that, an oppressive quiet descended. The storm clouds gathered, but the wind held its breath. Narutel was close. He could feel its dark presence calling to him across the turbulent waters, a siren song of peril. The Windshear dropped anchor in a hidden cove. The silence here was unnatural, heavy. Narutel's beach wasn't golden sand, but a dark volcanic grit that seemed to swallow sound. Ancient twisted trees like skeletal fingers clawed at the bruised sky. Their branches were draped with thick looping vines resembling dormant serpents. No birds sang, no insects buzzed, just an eerie, watchful stillness that prickled Caelan's skin. This place felt wrong, deeply wrong. It was a land that time had forgotten, or perhaps a land that had forgotten time itself, existing in its own dark reality. Caelan swung onto the black sand, his boots sinking slightly. The air was thick, humid, carrying the scent of damp earth and something else. Something faintly metallic and unsettling. Whispers seemed to slither from the impenetrable forest line, too faint to understand, yet undeniably there. Were these just the wind, or something more sinister? He drew his cutlass, its familiar weight a small comfort in this alien landscape. Every shadow seemed to writhe with unseen things. This island was alive, all right, but not with any life he recognized. It was a primal, hostile environment. He consulted his father's map, its parchment brittle with age. The compass needle spun erratically for a moment, then settled, pointing directly into the dense, dark jungle. He had to go in. There was no turning back now. He pushed through the heavy foliage, vines snagging at his clothes like grasping hands. The light grew dimmer, filtered through the thick canopy above. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. He could feel eyes on him, unseen yet palpable. This forest was a maze designed to confuse and consume. Deeper, he ventured, the ancient trees growing more colossal, their roots like petrified tentacles gripping the earth. The compass pulsed stronger now, its light a beacon in the oppressive gloom. The map indicated the oldest tree, a true behemoth. And there it was, a monstrous sentinel of wood and time. Its bark was scarred with symbols he vaguely recognized from his father's journals. He searched, eyes scanning the roots and shadows. Let's see. Where is it? He wondered. He ran his hands over the gnarled roots, searching. The compass flared, illuminating a section hidden beneath a curtain of moss. A stone gate seamlessly integrated into the tree's base, ancient and foreboding. This was the way. With a grunt of effort, Kalen pushed against the stone gate. It groaned, a sound like the world itself sighing, and ground slowly inwards, revealing a dark, gaping maw in the earth. A chasm, a cold, musty draught billowed out, carrying the scent of dust and decay. Kalen secured a rope to a thick root, testing its hold. This was it, the point of no return. Here goes nothing. As he began his descent, the ground beneath his feet, already loosened by the gate's movement, suddenly gave way. Rock and soil crumbled, the rope snapped taut, then went slack. He was falling, tumbling into the black unknown. He hit the ground hard, stars exploding behind his eyes. Pain shot up his leg. For a moment he lay there, winded, disoriented. The air was stale, chillingly cold. Slowly his vision cleared. A faint ethereal glow emanated from patches of phosphorescent moss clinging to the damp stone walls of a vast cavern. He was in some kind of underground dungeon. Ancient murals, faded and chipped, covered the walls. They depicted strange, godlike figures, epic battles and terrifying beasts that seemed to writhe in the flickering light. This place was old, incredibly old, and dangerous. This dungeon, it was no relic. It felt alive, almost angry. As he explored, the very structure seemed to shift. Walls ground against each other, passages opening and closing, trying to trap him, to crush him. He had to be quick, had to think on his feet. Pressure plates, almost invisible on the uneven floor, triggered deadly dart traps from hidden crevices in the walls. Poisonous spores puffed from disturbed fungi. He navigated with extreme caution, his senses on high alert, using his father's journal notes on ancient traps to anticipate the dangers. Every step was a gamble. From the deeper shadows something stirred. Not stone, not mechanism, something organic yet utterly unnatural. A bestial form detached itself from the darkness, eyes gleaming with a predatory light. It was a shadow guardian, swift and silent, its claws like razors. Kalen shouted, "Get back! Stay away!" He had a salvaged torch from his pack, and a small, sun-shaped relic his father had believed could ward off creatures of darkness. The torchlight made the shadow beast recoil, hissing. The relic glowed faintly. It was a desperate fight in the close confines, a dance with death itself. After what felt like an eternity of navigating treacherous passages and eluding unseen horrors, Kalen stumbled into a colossal chamber. It was vast, like an underground cathedral. Immense, intricately carved pillars soared into the oppressive gloom above, their tops lost in shadow. The air here hummed with a palpable energy, a raw power that made the hairs on his arms stand on end. Strange symbols, glowing faintly, adorned the pillars and walls, hinting at forgotten rituals and immense power. This had to be the heart of the curse, the source of this island's darkness. There, at the very centre of the immense chamber, stood a single obsidian pedestal. Upon it, a flame burned with an unnatural, captivating brilliance. It was the heart of Murias, a living fire, pulsating with warmth and an almost sentient light. Its glow cast long, dancing shadows that writhed across the ancient stonework, making the carved figures on the walls seem to move. The legends were true. This artifact held immense power, power that could reshape the world or destroy it. Its pull was like nothing Kalen had ever felt. It called to him. He could feel its energy, wild, alive. But he was not alone. As Kalen took a step towards the pedestal, the ground began to tremble violently. A deep, grinding sound echoed through the cathedral, the sound of stone rousing from an eon-long slumber. From the very floor and walls, figures began to emerge. Stone golems, ancient and massive, their forms crudely humanoid but immensely powerful. Their eyes, chips of obsidian or some dark crystal, glowed with a cold, malevolent light. They were the guardians of the heart, and they were awakening to defend it. Their massive fists, capable of crushing stone, were ready. A desperate battle erupted. Kalen was a speck against these stone behemoths. Direct confrontation was suicide. He had to use his wits, his agility, and the dungeon's own treacherous nature against them. There was no way he could take them head-on. He had to think fast. He dodged a crushing blow, the golem's fist shattering the stone where he'd stood. He remembered a section of unstable floor he'd noted earlier. He lured one of the lumbering giants onto it. With a crack, the floor gave way, swallowing the golem whole. One down, 2 more to go. Another he tricked into triggering a massive hidden scythe trap meant for intruders. Finally, panting and bruised, he saw his chance and lunged for the pedestal, snatching the heart of Murias. He had it. Now he could only hope it was worth the cost. The instant Kaelin's fingers closed around the heart of Murias, the entire island let out a deafening, agonized roar. It wasn't just a sound, it was a physical shockwave that threw him to his knees. The cathedral chamber began to shake violently, stone raining down from the impossibly high ceiling. Cracks snaked across the floor, widening into chasms. Ugh! What have I done? The heart in his hand burned with intense heat, a beacon of wild, untamed energy. He had claimed his prize, but in doing so he had clearly unleashed something terrible. This artifact wasn't just treasure, it was a lock, a seal. Outside, the once ominous calm of the sea had transformed into a raging tempest. The dark waters churned and frothed, as if a colossal beast were stirring beneath. And it was. From the abyssal depths, Vaurath, the ancient sea monster of Naruto legend, began to rise. Its form was immense, a terrifying silhouette of scales and spines against the storm-racked sky. Its roar was the thunder of a dying world. The island itself was breaking apart, great chunks of it collapsing into the churning ocean. The curse was real, and it was hungry. No time to think, just move. He raced back through the collapsing dungeon, the heart of Murias blazing in his grip, lighting the way through the chaos. Dust choked him, tremors threatened to send him sprawling into newly opened abysses. He burst out onto the beach, just as the Windshear, his sturdy sloop, was torn from its anchor by a colossal wave, its mast snapping like a twig. Come on, hold together. He had to make it. With a desperate leap, he caught the trailing rigging, the churning water already lashing at his boots. The island was sinking fast. Clinging to the wreckage of his ship, with Vaurath's monstrous form looming, its gaping maw promising oblivion, Kaelin faced an impossible choice. The heart, if I keep it, maybe I survive, but the world, everyone will pay for it. The heart pulsed in his hand, a source of unimaginable power. He could keep it, try to escape with it, but the world would pay the price. He looked at the raging beast, then at the artifact. His father had sought knowledge, but Kaelin now understood a deeper truth. This ends now. With a defiant yell, he hurled the heart of Murias straight into the colossal open mouth of Vaurath. A blinding, searing flash of light, an explosion of pure energy. The beast convulsed, shrieked a sound that tore the sky, then began to sink. Kaelin, adrift but alive, watched Naruto vanish beneath the waves. He had survived. His legacy wouldn't just be of discovery, but of sacrifice. The world was safe for now.